The designer here is working in the US in Florida, so all of the dimensions here are in decimal feet. But the designer has used the gCADPlus plant schedules and lists tool to generate the standard plant schedule. So I could say show the symbols with names, and you can see that all of the symbols in the design have been tagged, and that generates the plant schedule. We could update it if we liked by, let's imagine we take the Calliandra and copy it quite a number of times because our client is telling us that they like that species, and there are 13 in the plant schedule at the moment, so just update the schedule and the 13 changes to 18. So once you have a schedule like that, you can tweak the design subsequent to the generation of the schedule and just update it. But the design has also marked some areas for sort of mass planting of perennials, and a couple of cryptic labels are there. I hope you'll be able to see how they're generated. If we go to gCADPlus and pick the ground cover tool, we're going to make a new ground cover. So we'll pick it and we're asked to select a boundary line, and let's imagine that this closed boundary line represents an area where we're going to do some mixed perennial planting. So we'll select feet here. The abbreviation will be mixed perennial. Plant spacing will say 12 inches. You can change from millimetres to inches and so on. We're asked for a number, not the number of ground cover species, but our tag number. Let me just make that 7 to illustrate. The botanical name is going to be colour mixed perennials or mixed perennials, and we go OK. And we ask for the first point of the leader line and the second point of the leader line. So I'll hit escape and I'll just move like so. So we've now tagged those. gCADPlus has calculated that if you're going to use some mixed perennials, you'll need 34 of them to cover that area, 23 of them there and 77 there. So let's, and by the way, that's drawn in the current dimension style. You might want to increase the size of text in that it's using a style called USA2. We might be able to pick this one and just change that style, USA2, and that fixes that up, but we need to stretch the leader out. So we have 3 zones here labelled. Let's now draw the ground cover schedule. It doesn't work in quite the same way as the standard schedule, and I hope you see the reason in a moment. You just draw the schedule, it draws it immediately, and we'll pick in here and we'll explode it, because what we want to do is to adjust the height of the text in here. Let's do that, and the height here, and we'll make that, it's currently 0.4, we're going to double that, so we'll go up to 0.8 and see how that looks. I think that's reasonable, that's going to print reasonably well. We could pump it up a bit more to match the height there, but these little area markers are useful. So we can pick this one, remember, and we can copy it and pop it down and put it near the 34. Maybe we'll add it after. So that represents, that zone is labelled 7. We're going to do 34 species in there. This zone here, colour mixed perennials here, we'll copy that and put that in the same relative position. Which I'm moving in, aren't I? So I could still, to keep things consistent, we'll copy it back there and come in here and copy that one across to there. So you can see we've tagged things. The designer's also hatched that area with colour 911. We could use the modify match properties, pick up the properties of that hatch and put them into this zone here, but we'd have to hatch it first. So raw hatch. Zoom in here, pick the polyline. I'll just hatch it with, oh, that's right, we need to reload. I've been playing around with loading some hatch patterns. So I'll go back to my Documents, Users and Documents folder and to gCADPlus, and I should be able to load a pattern. I've only got the ISO set loaded at the moment. Let's just pick ACAD ISO, and we've got nice. Well, it really wouldn't worry us. We could just pick solid and go OK, and then match properties of that hatch pattern to that hatch pattern there. So we've got 3 zones here where we're just going to do mass planting of perennials, mix the colour up, and that's the sort of thing that the client wants. So the ground cover tool is quite useful. It's totaling up the number of specimens we need in an analogous way to the standard plant schedule. So I hope that helps explore the ground cover scheduling system.